Hello everyone. Now that Season 7 is finally over, it's clear that Rick and Morty's most contentious season to date. But this is a positive sign for the show's future. After Justin Roiland left, Rick and Morty faced several adjustments, as seen by the inconsistent quality of Season 7. The sitcom suffered from the loss of its co-creator, particularly because Roiland provided the voices for many characters, including Rick and Morty. Season 7 seemed different as a consequence, yet it was still able to produce some excellent episodes. Season 7 of Rick and Morty surely generated responses, even if views on whether the show is better or worse since Roiland left have divided. The conclusion of Rick and Morty Season 7 lived up to the high expectations viewers have for the show, but this hasn't always been the case. While releasing some of the lowest-rated episodes of Rick and Morty, Season 7 has also managed to produce some of the show's highest-rated episodes. The contentious nature of the program may give the impression that it is losing its appeal or that it hasn't been the same since one of its major characters left. But that isn't the whole story. Though views will always vary since the program had to take a new turn, Season 7 offers plenty good things to look forward to. Because of the contentious setup and varying quality of the episodes, Rick and Morty Season 7 has become the most controversial of the series. Before Season 7, the scandal surrounding Justin Roiland led to his dismissal from the show and recasting, which brought a lot of unwelcome attention to the series. Fans were somewhat divided as a result, but the episodes themselves are what really divided the season. Some of Rick and Morty's greatest episodes to date include Unmortrican, the 5th episode, and Fear No More, the conclusion. Both turned out to be huge successes. Because these story-focused episodes are usually fan favorites, Unmortrican received a positive review due to its emphasis on the overall plot. The series usually does a good job of delving into deeper concepts, and the finale did just that in a really interesting manner. Rise of the Numbericans. The movie is maybe the least well-liked episode of the series to date, despite a few unfavorable episodes in Season 7. The worst episode of Rick and Morty Season 7 demonstrated the need for Rick in the program since it was the first one without him and received primarily unfavorable feedback. Despite this, other people found the episode enjoyable, demonstrating how divided Season 7 was. For a number of reasons, Season 7 turned out to be uneven. The main reason was that the season lacked a unifying theme. Normally, a season of the show has a distinct overarching plot that is covered in a number of episodes. However, Season 7 lacks this. Even though Rick Prime's villain storyline came to an end in Rick and Morty Season 7, there was only one real tail episode, and even though it was fantastic, it felt like the consequences were immediately forgotten. Every episode felt independent of the others, so one week may include a thought-provoking, in-depth episode, and the next would feature the regular adventures of Rick and Morty. Characters were also inconsistently included. Even if he appears in one episode later in the series without Rick, Morty is still not the major focus of the first 3 episodes. The first episode of Season 7 focused on Mr. Poop-a-Butthole and had a ton of supporting characters. Nevertheless, he didn't appear again until the post-credits scene in the Rick and Morty Season 7 finale. The season marked out as an experimental one since everything seemed a little off. Although the plot of Rick and Morty isn't known to be constant from episode to episode, Season 7 seemed particularly erratic since it was noticeably more experimental than previous seasons. Though inconsistent at first, Rick and Morty's stability is really a positive feature. Season 7's inconsistency on the program demonstrates the author's willingness to take chances. It would have been simple to play it safe after Roiland's departure. Reviving fan favorites like Mr. Meeseeks or even the Cromulans would have been an inexpensive but successful strategy to win over new supporters. Rather of giving up, the show decided to try again, coming up with fresh concepts and seeing what worked and what didn't. With regard to what supporters want to see from the squad moving ahead, Season 7 was perhaps a good sign. Rick and Morty need to take a lesson from these less well-received episodes and attempt to concentrate on the good aspects of Season 7. A flaw in the show's debut episode from more than 10 years ago was already resolved in Rick and Morty Season 7, and the show may continue to strive for improvement in the future. The successful episodes demonstrate that certain concepts were implemented successfully this time, and things need to continue to improve. By taking a chance on Season 7, Rick and Morty may be able to incorporate the criticism and grow into a more inventive and powerful program. Season 7 does pave the way for a much better future, even if it may not end up being the finest season of the program.